Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, Legit Boston, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, Brendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it to make sure you always get your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers over there.
Yeah.
At the $5 a month tier, we've got bonus content. Today we're doing Ask Steve and Larson. The award-winning, sometimes absent, Ask Steven Larson. Last week we plumb forgot about it.
Yeah, it's a downside of doing something that's so well liked.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just forget about it.
Exactly.
So well received, just completely slips your mind. Hey, happy birthday, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hopefully you don't have this already.
Oh, what is this? Oh, man. What is this awesomeness? Look, it's a gift. I'm going to open it right now.
Good. I said hopefully you don't have it.
Is it a portrait of Ed Edwards?
Sadly, no.
That'd be a little weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What is this? Whoa! I've never even seen this before.
Oh, okay.
Holy crap. The Art of Juan Ortiz, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yeah, look pretty neat.
Oh, man. That is so rad. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ah, this is like the coolest. I've never even seen this before. Holy crap.
I've seen it. I've had that in mind for a potential Christmas or birthday gift for a while, and I was like, all right, let's finally get it.
That's so cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow. Can't wait to
It is Steve's birthday, Epico.
It is.
Suplex Casey says, "Happy birthday, Uncle Steve. Take my money."
It's the most boring year. I'm 9 years away from having another interesting number for a birthday. I'm on road to 50. But I'm just starting out on road to 50.
Yeah.
So, yeah it's kind of
boring. I got
a
year head start on you.
Woke up and...
it's just another day, man.
It's just another day.
Just another day.
My shoulder is all out of sorts because of yesterday.
Oh, dear.
Because of the Mark Andrews dance.
Thing.
It's not really.
Oh, Epico says to Streamlabs away.
Oh, no. No. Epico, just look, your face reveal earlier in the week was birthday present enough, I think. You don't need to give me
Minion
anything.
says, happy 50th birthday, Steve.
Thank you very much. No, I said I'm road to 50.
No, he's just getting out in front of it all.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah.
The villain Alan Black. Happy birthday, Steve. Pour yourself a little bit of bubbly.
Well, it's not old yet.
No, Joshua Martinez says, happy birthday, Steve.
Thank you very much.
I have one in mind that maybe I'll try to do this weekend if I have time. You did the Ronettes Be My Bubbly.
I wanted to see how fast I could crap one out.
It took about 3 minutes.
Yeah, it did.
I have one in mind. I don't want to spoil it for anybody because I think it could be really good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Good.
You know what it is. I told you yesterday.
Oh, dude, in one ear.
All right, I'll tell you.
I'm glad that I don't remember because I'll be surprised.
Jeffrey Nguyen, happy birthday, Steve. I'll have a drink in your name.
Not surprising. You love alcohol. So, yeah, that's good stuff. A couple programming notes. We've gotten, starting next week, here's the thing. There's going to be some changes around here.
Yeah, we're coming fifth anniversary show of the 22nd. So
it's our 5th anniversary, and then in October, of course, everybody's talking this today. Wrestle Talk, our good friend who's over at Wrestle Talk, they put up a video where they're talking about they're hiring people because of this October business.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to be working on Saturdays. All those fellas in the UK have to be working on Saturdays. So yeah, man, if you're looking to get into the pro wrestling YouTube business, I guess.
Yeah.
Go check out the Wrestle Talk video, man. If you're in the UK, I don't know if they need people in the. Oh my goodness, Epico with $100 Streamlabs.
Thank you, Epico.
He said, "Take the money and go get drunk."
There you go.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
D Minor, happy birthday, Steve. Now come get squash and NBA 2K.
You know what?
Calling you out.
Thank you so much, D Minor. I was gonna play it last night. I bought it last night. And I was going to play it, but then it said, oh, you can play now. And then it said copying game, and it was taking forever. And then there was all sorts of people saying there's all sorts of server issues.
Oh, dear.
So not surprising that happens when it's a really popular game.
DKC Return says, burn one for Steve, stoners.
All right. Wow. Encouraging a little bit of the marijuana. Interesting. Anyways.
It's legal in several states now.
It is, including California.
Yeah.
It's great. So thank you all for your birthday wishes. Thank you for my present. That's really awesome.
Hope you enjoy.
Heck yeah, man.
You like art. You like Star Trek. Seemed to be the perfect
absolutely.
thing.
No, that's terrific. I saw they have some on the back here.
Yeah, they look pretty like old school.
The one with the Riker, the frame of mine. That's great. That's like one of the best.
Old school movie posters or book covers.
Still bleeding. Like a Data's Day.
Yeah, that's neat.
Awesome. That's good stuff. Anyways. So let's talk about Bischoff.
No, let's talk about wrestling news now.
Oh, no, changes first. Yeah, okay, changes. Sorry. Starting next week, we're going to start going live at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Yes.
As opposed to 9, or usually it's closer to like 9:15 or 9:30 is what it usually is. Now it's going to be Monday through Friday, 10 a.m.
Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Although we do have to talk about what we're going to do on Wednesdays, if we're actually going to be live on Wednesdays.
Well, we still have another month till SmackDown starts.
No, I know. Starting in October, though.
Yeah,
next week here. Yeah, it's gonna be. This is one of the changes going to happen. It's going to be live at 10 a.m. Pacific. What is that? 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
and then
6 p.m. Brexit time.
6 p.m. or 4 p.m. Yeah, it's later. Okay, so 6 p.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. Brexit time. Boris time. So yeah, and that's honestly like just in case you're wondering why, we just need like a little bit more prep time. Like we're just late every day, like getting the show live.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, why don't we just start like an hour later?
Yeah.
And do that. So that's what we're doing.
And not feel rushed.
And not feel rushed. Wake up a little bit. And there's some writing that I want to do for various projects we have in the pipeline. And I need some extra time to do that. So.
Minion TM69 says, here's some birthday money. Would be more, but Tool tickets aren't cheap.
Hey, man, go enjoy that Tool.
Yeah.
Go enjoy. I've not listened to the rest of their album. I just listened to the first couple songs.
I listened to a little bit of it.
Just it sounds like Tool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool that people like. I think if you're into Tool, you're like really into Tool.
Yeah.
So you'll soak it all in and really love it.
Yeah.
I appreciate Tool.
Yeah, they're all right.
I like them. I think they're good.
They're all right.
Yeah. People really seem to. Okay. Why do you keep saying that?
That's just my opinion, man.
All right.
You said you like them. I'm saying, yeah, they're all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's
all right. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
Bischoff!
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff is in the hot seat. Larson, what's going on with that?
So earlier this week, Meltzer talked on Wrestling Observer Radio, I believe, about how there's some creative changes going on backstage. WB The Rap has some additional details as to what's going on regarding this creative shakeup. This I had to say, quote, WWE is undergoing a major behind-the-scenes shakeup with Raw head writer Ed Koskey replacing Ryan Ward as SmackDown lead writer under executive director Eric
Bischoff.
An individual with knowledge of the plans told The Rap. Jonathan Beckstrom, the former lead writer of 205 Live, is backfilling Koskey's lofty Raw role under executive director Paul Heyman. The changes have been in the works for weeks and follow what the insider called a botched summer storyline involving a doppelganger for bad guy Eric Rowan.
Do you have? Yeah. Okay. Let's just skip ahead really quick and then we'll backtrack.
Yeah.
That was hilarious to me because The Rap also got into the issues with the current Who Attacked Roman story, with their source saying the angle, the NWO Rowan, was botched so bad that, quote, explaining to anyone what it was supposed to be wouldn't make any sense at all. Larson, what do you think that is? What do you think it would be? What wouldn't make sense to anybody? You're usually good at like fantasy booking and stuff.
Like alternate dimension type stuff?
Yes! That would be awesome.
Like Daniel Bryan? No, Rawgate.
Daniel
Bryan discovered Rawgate and brought NWO Rowan over to our reality so that he would be the culprit.
That was actually, that was a good guy Eric right there. That's what we saw on TV. Man, that's a good explanation. It explains why we haven't been hired as writers for WWE.
Exactly.
Because they probably watched. Maybe Bischoff was really into We Book Raw and the Rawgate technology.
Ideas directly from it. People are like, what the hell are you talking about?
That could be.
A couple of idiots poorly playing this video game, and you want to take ideas from them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get out of here.
They're like, but listen, they've got Rawgate technology. Bischoff thought it was real.
Yeah.
The Rap
continues. Ward will be taking a short-term leave of absence, the insider said, declining to specify the reason for his leave.
Burnout.
Should he return to WB from that leave, Ward will likely join the home team or the company's non-traveling group of writers. I believe Ryan Ward has been on the SmackDown writing team since the brand split, since the draft back in 2016.
Yeah.
He got promoted, I guess. You
Wasn't he the name we heard associated with the Mixed Match Challenge, too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
We've always heard good things about
Yeah,
it.
totally. And the rap also mentions that the getting sent to the home team is kind of viewed like as a demotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's just kind of how they framed it. They have one little interesting bit here, too, the rap does. Their source added that the moves are, quote, due to a perceived lack of direction at SmackDown, and the SmackDown moves also come amid growing questions about Bischoff's leadership of the show. The Insider cited Bischoff's decision to hire Stevie Long, a former Sons of Anarchy writer who was found asleep in the writer's room by longtime producer Michael P.S. Hayes on his first day on the road with WB.
Larson, if I recall correctly, having seen every episode of Sons of Anarchy.
I haven't seen a single one.
But you do know, you do understand what that show is about, correct?
Motorcycle Gang.
Motorcycle Gang! Eric Bischoff literally hired a writer whose main job was to write about motorcycle gangs for SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Predictable till the end, isn't he?
That's one of those things that's like too ridiculous. Like if we had cracked a joke about him hiring writers from Sons of Anarchy, it would have been too obvious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So then this guy comes in and he fell asleep.
It's probably exhausting though.
Oh, I know.
That seems like one of those things that's probably fairly innocuous, and then it got blown up.
I don't necessarily blame him for that.
Yeah.
It wasn't and like he's probably just chilling out in the writer's room by himself. Like, all right, time to get a couple Z's in before next meeting.
Riding through this world.
Looking at the back of my eyelids.
Anyways, yeah, so he fell asleep, and then somebody saw it. I mean, that's
not somebody. Doot.
Yeah, sorry, Michael Hayes. We getting some sleep there. Imagine waking up to Michael Hayes.
Doot.
Oh man, yeah, that sucks.
It's a bad look. I mean,
yeah, it's not a good look
to fall asleep in the writer's room on your first day, but yeah, it's probably something like, hey, doot, wake up. Got a meeting to go to. Meltzer had a couple extra details as well in the newsletter this week. Quote, the writing teams have been split up, just as the Raw and SmackDown rosters will be after mid-October when the next talent draft takes place. We had heard that after Mania, that the writing teams were put together into one massive group. Anyways, the idea is to do 2 exclusive shows with exclusive head executives working on their brand, exclusive writing teams, exclusive talent, and exclusive announcing teams. The change does have to do with Vince McMahon nearly every week believing that he had to rewrite the shows, which he hasn't been doing with Raw, which Koski had been the head writer of, working under Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
So Vince got tired of rewriting the show and said, Ryan Ward, go home.
Mm-hmm. It honestly, it sounds like exactly like the Road Dogg situation. This literally just happened, where Road Dogg, who we had understood was like one of the head guys there at SmackDown, he was like the key guy over there.
And then suddenly Vince started redoing everything he did.
He just got, it's like, dude, I can't deal with that. Like, what the heck? I put a lot of time into this, and Vince comes in and starts, yeah, exactly.
Wrapping it up.
Telling you, man, they just need to conglomerate like all the power under Paul Heyman, have him take over. Well, both shows would be kind of difficult. Now that it's going to be completely separate deals, that's going to be a bit different, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what he expected. I mean, look, it's easy to like, clown Eric Bischoff for this stuff, but it's like WWE knew, Vince knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, he knew that Bischoff wasn't up to speed, wasn't following the product whatsoever. He hadn't been involved in the creative capacity in wrestling in a very long time.
Yeah.
Even when he was, track record mixed at best.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, but this is not surprising at all.
No.
It's like, I'm sorry, and it's not like a knock on Bischoff. It's what would you expect to have happen?
I know.
It's like, yes, he was in a lead creative position for a very long time at WCW, or at least for 5 years or so.
He's there for a while, yeah. But then after that,
I mean, if he was fired or whatever, or let go in like 99 or 2000.
Yeah, but then they brought him back.
But and then Nitro started in 95? 6? Was it 96 or 95?
Yeah, 96. But he was doing creative stuff before that. He's the one that called Medusa and said, hey, come bring your belt with you, and that was late 95.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, yeah, he was around for a little while.
Yeah.
So, man, yeah, I don't know. I think that
I mean, like here, like
Wait, Nitro started when?
96, I believe.
When did the Medusa thing happen?
95. Oh, I guess me 95. Sorry,
Yeah,
95. Like doing creative stuff, at least in my estimation, isn't like riding a bicycle. It's not something. If you get out of the practice of having your mind focused on creative endeavors, sometimes it takes a while to get back in that mindset.
There's that. That's totally true. But there's also two other big things. Number one, he's never been in creative at WWE. And number two, well, sort of the same thing, I guess. He was head of creative when he was the man at WCW. Like, he was just cashing Ted Turner's checks.
Yeah.
Ted Turner wasn't the Vince McMahon, like,
No, he didn't really have to answer to anybody.
having final say in creative. So, he hasn't been in the pro wrestling business for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was, it wasn't under Vince McMahon. Like, it's a completely different situation. And on top of that, like, the writing staff situation there seems to be such a fluid thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
who's gonna
moving
be in the
pieces.
writer's room when you show up any day to work.
And they've got the weird thing where there's like 20 writers at home, in Connecticut or whatever. And then you've got like your road crew also. It's all just a really weird, like, it's so not surprising for a guy to go in who already has a reputation of his own. It's like, granted, he's built relationships.
Yeah.
But he also has there's a preconceived notion of what he is also,
Totally.
I imagine, amongst everybody there.
Yeah, motorcycle gangs.
Motorcycle gangs and garbage trucks. And he comes in, and it would seem like it'd be very overwhelming.
Yeah,
it seemed like
it
it'd
would.
be super
Yeah,
overwhelming.
I mean, all that, and then add on top of that, trying to get up to speed on everything that's been going on in the wrestling industry, even over just the past year.
Yeah.
So it's not just so much he has to get up to speed on WB storylines. He has to get up to what's been going on industry-wide, I would think.
September of '95. Okay, that's when Nitro started.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Get up to speed industry-wide to know what's kind of going on. AEW, New Japan, NXT.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of needs to know a bit about all that
Yeah, I know.
if he really wants to be in tune with the current wrestling zeitgeist and channel that to what's going on in SmackDown.
Like, it seemed fairly obvious, man, that like the announcement of Heyman and Bischoff was simply something that Vince McMahon wanted to put out there to generate short-term buzz.
Well, and potentially engender some goodwill from hardcore wrestling fans. I mean, I think Heyman's reputation is far better than Bischoff's
Oh,
is
100%,
from
yeah.
the creative standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely.
But still, as I say, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, totally.
You hear Bischoff coming back, you think, oh, NWO. That's
yeah.
the first thing you think.
Yeah.
And
Or you think Monday Night Wars?
Yeah,
Oh, you're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
pit these two guys.
Exactly.
Oh wow, WCW, ECW versus blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And it was like, okay, well, let's think about how this is actually going to practically play out. And this is kind of what we figured.
Yeah.
What would happen? I was hoping not. I don't want anybody to fail. That sucks. I was hoping that he'd come in and somehow miraculously we'd see a creative renaissance, but that just seemed not likely.
I'll say this though about the Who Attacked Roman storyline. Yeah, the doppelganger bit was brought up and then dropped, and I don't know if they mean just specifically that story beat or the storyline as a whole, because initially it was going to be introduced storyline Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Thankfully, correctly, they said, okay, that's really rushing this storyline to span about 2 weeks. Let's take our time with it. And while the execution of everything hasn't been great, it's been largely silly and ridiculous. That being said, it got Buddy Murphy on TV. It got us a lot more Daniel Bryan. And potentially now, we got Eric Rowan coming into his own as a performer, giving him an opportunity to do stuff by himself instead of as henchman yet again.
The two things that are so great about that are the two things that seemingly are accidental. I'm not going to say Rowan was accidental, but if this storyline has sort of shifted gears at some point, I'm not sure if the plan was. I mean, I hope the plan was, hey, let's try to get Rowan to be a top heel out of this. I think that's a great plan going into it because I love when they try to create stars, and who's the best star creator out there? Daniel Bryan. And then having Roman giving his, approval as well matters. Hey, he potentially could do the job to him in some way, shape, or form, and still look good at Clash of Champions if that's still going to be the match. I like that idea. The Buddy Murphy thing, completely accidental.
Yeah, but they realized there was some chatter about it online, and they took advantage of it.
Absolutely, to their credit, to Vince's credit, 100%.
It could have just as easily just been, oh well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It could have been that, and it wasn't. And he was given an opportunity to shine, and he's killed it every single time. Hopefully that momentum continues.
Yes.
I don't believe he was on TV this past week.
No, he was not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But Aleister Black spent a couple weeks off TV too.
Yeah. That's a match we need to see on SmackDown Live
Oh,
TV.
100 million.
Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. Hell yes.
Absolutely.
Heck yes, man.
But before we get that match, Larson, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Manscaped. Of course, it's my birthday. We're going to talk about Manscaped, Larson.
Ballskin.
Hey, man, have you ever found yourself in a situation where your lover has gone down to your man zone and told you to put that beef away because of a huge thicket of messy bush?
Well, we're here to tell you that mess doesn't have to be the norm thanks to Manscaped. I know I'm not alone when I say this, but there have been several times when I'm trying to groom my front area only to come away with little bits of ball flesh in the teeth of harsh trimmers that don't keep in mind the safety and well-being of my ball skin.
Ouch.
Thankfully, we're here to tell you that Manscaped has completely changed the game.
Yeah, correct, friendo. Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer with their Lawnmower 2.0, which has proprietary tech that keeps your ball skin safe from cuts and snags.
Yeah, but that's not all. It's one thing to keep your man bitch groomed, but you want them smelling good too, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Manscaped has an anti-chafing deodorant and moisturizer called Crop Preserver that keeps your nether region smelling fresh.
Yeah, right now, friendos can get 20% off and free shipping and a free travel bag by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR. Use the right tools to keep your ball skin safe. Trust me, your balls will thank you.
As will your lover when he or she goes down to your hog pen, sees and smells it slop-free. No one likes sloppy junk.
No, they don't, man.
No.
No.
Again, get 20% off, free shipping, and a free travel bag by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR.
And thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring today's show, and you're really helping out Going In Raw and your ball skin by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR.
You love the hog pen pit.
I do. I love it all, man. Fun zone, hog pen. It's all good stuff. Slop, junk.
Beef away.
Oh, man. Anyways. Hey, man. It's time for my favorite segment. Let's nitpick AEW.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, man. Before we get into this, because we're going to talk about All Elite Wrestling's latest pay-per-view numbers.
Yeah.
And how they...
Such as they are right now. I mean, it's not like all publicly available, but anyways, yes.
Right, exactly. And there's like one big number that is not available, and that's the Bleacher Report Live, the BR Live thing, which apparently Patrick Sparks still having a hard time getting his refund.
Bummer, man.
I know, it sucks. He needs to contact his bank. But have you noticed that, like, especially on Twitter, I know you pride yourself on not quite tuning in as much as I do, maybe, but boy, people are nitpicking them.
Yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah,
like this
really
all
pay
this
attention to all
business
that
with Cody.
I saw the thing. We'll get to this a bit more. Well, I guess we just do it now. That there's the main event, you would think, for Full Gear is announced. Cody taking on Jericho for the AEW title. And I saw a lot of people getting on it a little bit. It's like, well, if wins and losses matter, shouldn't you have waited till after Cody's match against Sammy Guevara at the first TV before making this announcement? They gotta sell tickets, man.
Yeah, dude, it's a business. Like, I don't know. If Cody lost to Sammy Guevara, you could potentially turn that into a story then. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that people right now really... And look, I think I do think there's a lot going on, especially with Meltzer reporting the way he does in a very favorable fashion at AEW because they're his friends. That's kind of obvious.
Definitely is when it comes to critiquing their matches.
Yeah, but there's a lot more. Like the backstage fight stuff.
I know.
There's a lot going on there. But that's totally fine. They're his friends. Hey, if we had friends who were doing something, I'd try to put them over too.
Oh yeah.
Good for him. He's got a platform. That's awesome. But man, like people really just want to nitpick.
I know.
At AEW.
Well, let's try to parse these numbers here. Why don't we? And then
sure.
And then we can be critical.
Okay, sounds good.
This is all from the newsletter. This is what Dave had to say. Quote, as far as pay-per-view goes, it was a mixed bag. Traditional U.S. television pay-per-view was down significantly from Double or Nothing, although we'll finish well ahead of All In. Streaming pay-per-view in the U.S. on Bleacher Report Live was up, although we don't know by how much. The only straight number we have, which is U.S. television pay-per-views, looks to be about 28,000 buys. Double or Nothing, as of a few days after, was closer to 35,000, ended up at 39,000. So this should have been another 10 to 12% added to that number when all is said and done. So we're looking around 30,000. All those together would indicate something around 100,000. I don't know where he gets that number from.
Yeah, I don't get where he gets that number from.
Which, while not up from last time, does show staying power, which was the big question. It's still above what any company other than WWE or WWF or WCW ever did, and many of those companies had weekly television on Strong Station. It also beat most of the WCW shows at the end. Isn't really saying much. He mentions this last little tidbit. On both television pay-per-view and Bleacher Report, 46% of those ordering had ordered Double or Nothing. That means 54% didn't.
Oh, okay, hold on.
But here's a question I have about that. Say, I don't know if this is across both platforms or one or the other, because this could just been a thing where someone orders Double or Nothing on traditional pay-per-view, and then next time says, "Oh, I can do it on Bleacher Report. I'll give that a try." Mm-hmm. You know?
Wait a second. How would he have the figure on
the demographic breakdown
for Bleacher Report if he doesn't have the number for the Bleacher Report number? I mean, did he just forget to add? Is that where he gets the 100,000 from? I
think so, but he said streaming pay-per-view in the U.S. on Bleacher Report Live was up, although we don't know by how much. If he had known the numbers, he would have known by how much.
Maybe he knew. Yeah. Did he have the? Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Very confusing. It is very confusing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. When he references early AEW numbers, we're still in early AEW numbers.
Yeah, I know.
This is show number 3 technically, 4 if you count All In.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's we're in early. Like TV doesn't start for another 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever.
Almost a month. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's still pretty great. It's a young company. They're not going to do things perfectly. I mean, things like the title getting stolen are bound to happen. But and then the win-loss thing, I think people take just a little too serious. Look, man, it's wrestling. It's wrestling. Just chill. It's okay. Like
I know. Although, here's the thing. I don't know if you read Tony Khan and the SI announcement about the Cody Jericho match. That's like the one thing he points to as justification why Cody is getting the match. So I guess the company is going to make a point of mentioning that.
Oh, sure.
To justify.
Yeah.
It's open for criticism.
Yeah, it is.
But at the same time, yes, I know it's pro wrestling.
It's pro wrestling, and yes, they've made maybe too much of a deal. The one thing that I did, was it? No, never mind. That was just on Twitter. Somebody had a criticism, and one that I think is probably the most valid in terms of story is them having made such a big deal about the Young Bucks and Cody and Kenny being EVPs or being vice presidents or whatever. Mm-hmm. I thought that I don't know. I sort of understand where they're coming from. It's like, hey, these are the people that you've trusted with some of the most memorable wrestling moments over the past 24 months are in control, so you're in good hands. At the same time, they're also the wrestlers who, in storyline, are now not going to be able to be considered underdogs necessarily.
Yeah. Although they're trying to do that with Kenny, it seems like.
They're trying to do that with Kenny. I think it should end up being successful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of nitpicking out there. It's a young company. There's going to be missteps. Mm-hmm. I know you want them to be perfect, and they're not going to be perfect.
Not every time.
And if they stumble, it's not a reason to say, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna crash and burn." So I don't know.
No, you're right.
People tend to do that. But yeah, Cody versus Jericho. Confirmed.
Yeah, that should be good. That was announced by SI, and then All Elite later independently confirmed it. This is what Tony Khan had to say when talking Sports Illustrated. Cody's outstanding record in singles competition, it's 3 matches though, has secured him the #1 contender ranking, and he'll be challenging AEW World Champion Chris Jericho in the first ever pay-per-view defense of the championship on November 9th in Baltimore at Full Gear. Cody earned this opportunity over the summer as he remained unbeaten in singles bouts, scoring pins on a pair of proven veterans, defeating his older brother, legendary wrestler Dustin Rhodes at Double or Nothing, and beating bitter rival and former partner Shawn Spears at All Out, and battling to a draw with the exciting upstart Darby Allin at Fyter Fest.
Yeah, well, what's your take on this in terms of? So that was another nitpick that I saw on social media, was the idea that this pay-per-view isn't happening until November.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they have made this announcement on TV
as
opposed to a press release?
Because I want to sell tickets to the show. Hang on. I mean, like, here's like a common criticism I hear about New Japan shows here in the States is you don't know who's going to be on the card, but when you buy tickets.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it happens in WWE, but WWE is like the NFL. It's you buy into the name brand. AEW is not to that point yet.
Yeah.
They need reason still, especially at this point where the initial enthusiasm is waning maybe a little bit. People need to know what they're getting into when they buy that ticket.
The enthusiasm is it's reached its peak, and so it's leveling off.
Yeah,
it's leveling off.
So they want people to know what they're buying their ticket for and actually appreciate that.
Yeah. Here's the thing also is that this is simply, like it or not, the era we live in, and WWE did set this precedent by announcing all this stuff on Twitter. That's just, and we complain about it all the time with WWE. It's like, man, why couldn't they have set this up? Why couldn't they have announced this? Because, like you say, they're selling tickets, but also the era we're living in right now is stuff breaks on Twitter. That's where they have it.
Or through other media sources.
Yeah, exactly. Like they place a lot in that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I see what they're saying, but I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of sort of needless nitpicking when it comes to AEW.
I agree.
The spotlight is huge on them. It's really impressive what they've done so far, and it's opened up a lot of business opportunities for a lot of wrestlers, and I think that can't be understated.
Yep, and that's probably the most important thing about the creation of All Elite, is giving people another place to go to make money doing wrestling. So who you got winning this title match? It's got to be Jericho, yeah. Jericho's holding that belt for a little bit.
He can't lose it on his first. And this is kind of an interesting thing because, and I think this is smart booking. Cody being like the EVP of the company, get his title shot out of the way, so that you're not asking, okay, when is he going to insert himself? How's that going to happen?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty smart.
It is smart.
Like, get that out of the way. He does have the best record right now, but Jericho's a champion. He's going to be champion probably, I would like to think, until Kenny takes it off him, because Kenny's got to get back up on his.
And they need to have the rubber match too.
Yeah,
it makes all the sense in the world. Have Kenny be the guy to take it off him.
How many losses do you think Kenny's going to eat?
He'll lose to Mox.
He'll lose to Mox. Is that going to be rock bottom?
I think so.
Or is he going to then lose to the Dark Order guy?
Which one?
The
Stu
guy.
Or Evil Uno?
Evil Uno.
Loses to Chuck.
Is he going to lose to Chuck?
He's going to lose to Trent.
To Chuck Taylor?
The guy he beat for the U.S. title in New Japan.
Right, yeah.
Squashes him in a minute and a half.
Yeah, there you go. Is he going to lose to Marco Stunt?
Ooh, there you go. There you go. Fresh off the heels of an awesome match against Tyler Bate, Walter's still in the news. He spoke to Talk Sports, and he was asked, hey, Walter, main roster for you, yes or no?
I'm going to go visit my dad, Rey Mysterio, yeah.
So his answer is kind of confusing. This we had to say, quote, I would go on the main roster at some point, but I wouldn't move to America. Moving to America is not for me. American lifestyle is not for me. No, I couldn't imagine that. When it comes to that, I stay where I am, but I'm able to get on a plane.
Whoa,
so,
hold on, back up.
What?
What's this word after that? Laughs? Did Walter laugh? I want to hear. I gotta watch this.
He said this.
I gotta watch this Walter interview, man. I want to hear him laugh. I probably should have done that in the first place because, like, that's our job. So yeah, if you're gonna go on main roster,
you can't live in the States.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the options are you fly out here, you work your 3 to 5 days, fly back to your home in Germany, only probably to get on a plane and fly back to the United States.
Yeah.
You'd be
like
afforded zero opportunity. Day. Yes. No, probably the same day.
Yeah.
Because depending on, it's like a 12 to 15 hour travel day, probably.
Yeah.
If not longer, depending on layovers and such.
I got the private plane, supersonic.
And you hear about, he's got the Concorde.
It goes so fast.
You hear about wrestlers who live in the States, and they get like a day and a half home.
And they live like in Orlando.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That'd be great, though. I mean, it'd be cool. I like the so according to the newsletter as well, Cesaro and Drew McIntyre have both inquired with Triple H about doing some stuff in the UK.
Yeah, Drew's been public about it too. He wants a match against Walter.
Who wouldn't want to see that?
Oh my
gosh. That's the kind of thing. Like, don't take Walter to Maine, bring Maine to Walter. That's what you do. God dang, that match was so good. Oh, so good.
Imagine a takeover match with Drew and Walter.
Oh my gosh. Oh. That'd be great.
Amazing.
Walter wins.
Yeah, of course.
No, that'd be cool, though. I mean, I think that's, I don't know, man. Again, a lot of moving pieces with all those rosters they have. And I am kind of disappointed. They just shuffled Cesaro days later back to Raw for a quick loss to Miz.
Yeah, no, that's disappointing.
Like, they do need to learn how to capitalize on
momentum in good matches.
If somebody has buzz coming out of something that really sort of captured the zeitgeist in the moment, then you need to capitalize on that. You just don't send them back to Raw and have them lose to the Miz with a skull-crushing finale.
Yeah, usually it takes like multiple of those to beat people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We got one last story here about Marty Scurll.
The villain.
Throughout this week, it's been seemingly confirmed by every outlet that his contract is up in November with Ring of Honor. He will be out of Ring of Honor potentially in November. So that makes him free agent. Question needs to be asked, where's he going to go? Meltzer speculated, or maybe he has inside information. Who knows? Quote, Sports Illustrated ran that Scurll's deal up is in November, which was the time frame we'd always heard, and it's been confirmed the team is up at the end of November. It says team here. Does that mean Villain Enterprises?
Term?
That's what I thought.
Okay. Where's the E in the... Well, they're not that far, but maybe, He also called the Squared Circle Sirens. He gave that a different name. It was like WrestlingWomen.com or something.
Oh, my
like
goodness.
That.
His situation will be very interesting. He is in talks about staying. As best we can tell, there is more interest in Scurll from AEW than Taven. And I think WWE would love a talent like him in NXT, particularly now. His longtime friends are in AEW, and he was basically made a star with being the elite in the Villain Club T-shirts by being aligned with the key people who are in AEW. His star was on the rise even before that. So in his case, all three options are viable, but I've always heard in this situation not to dismiss the idea he'd go to any of the three options. So you'd think, just based on face value, Ring of Honor would be the third, the least likely option for him to choose, just based on the fact that they probably don't have the money that AEW or WWE does. It's not that large of a platform, and depending on what happens with Cobb, Roosh, Bandito, even Matt Taven, I guess, that could play into his fortunes in that company.
There was a bit out there about Ring of Honor bringing up their, and I honestly forget if this is the newsletter or what. I was looking at Rovert's Twitter feed because it's all over the map with him. But he did seem to say something, or he did seem to link to something that said Ring of Honor's signing budget has increased, and they are trying to throw more money at people. So it might be the kind of situation where All Elite has a fairly big roster at this point. WWE, of course, has endless money. They would do whatever. But I wonder if it's the kind of thing where Ring of Honor, because they're not able to sign more people, they can throw more people at bigger names. So they could be on par or even outbidding AEW.
Maybe financially. I don't know.
Financially, I think it's definitely possible.
It's possible, but I don't know. I guess it depends if Marty wants to work with his friends again or not.
That's the big issue. That's the big thing. It's like he's going to, regardless of where he goes, he's going to make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. They're going to throw a lot of money at him. It's just, I don't think All Elite can rely solely on, hey, come over and see your friends.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you a VP role, and we're not going to, we'll pay you decent.
Yeah.
But Ring of Honor might be able to, but we can outbid them we will outbid them by quite a sight. I don't know. He's doing really good work in Ring of Honor. He's like, Villain Enterprise is like one of the only good things that Ring of Honor has going for it. If they lose that, they are losing one of their biggest draws. They don't have draws right now.
No, they don't.
So if they're going to put all their money in one place, it's got to be him.
It's got to be on
and that's a big
Marty.
decision to make. It's like, do you want to go on the freaking rocket ship that is AEW for potentially maybe less money? Or do you want to make stupid money and try to rebuild Ring of Honor? That's a big decision to make, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll probably go to AEW, though.
Probably. I mean, on the T-shirt sales alone, you'd think it'd make up for it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. It is a lot of money. All right. You want to answer some questions, Steve?
Of course I want to answer some
questions.
All right.
We'll do it immediately. Dylan asked, Steve, would you be interested in the Simpsons podcast?
No. I have not watched The Simpsons in a very long... I was a big fan in the 90s, but like everybody else, I just, at a certain point...
Yeah. W.S. Fletcher, wow, I've been watching you guys this long. Happy birthday, Steve. Thank you, W.S. Fletcher.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Lake Locke, why don't they hire comic book writers? They're used to a little more abstract storylines. You see comic book writers writing for wrestling.
I mean, I think that would be on par with I mean, look, the thing about comic book writers is that, and granted, I've only written my own comics. I'm not sure exactly. I know they have to deal with story editors who have a larger story mapped out in advance, and then the comic book writers. I mean, this is a generalization to the extreme, but comic book writers, from what I understand, work basically alone. Mm-hmm. Like they are in a room, and they're doing their thing. They understand maybe where the story's going if they're working on like a Batman or Superman or X-Men or something. But these days, I mean, guys like Scott Snyder and I think Tom King is his name. I think they're given a lot of leeway to craft their own story because they have, the juice equity to do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would think that TV writers who I think work more in collaborative environments, like I guarantee Sons of Anarchy, they've got the showrunner like Kurt Sutter probably. Yeah. And then they have like a group of writers. Yeah. Who then are tasked with different things. Or
it's like you watched the behind the scenes stuff for Deadwood,
which is I think probably how it's done.
Where you have David Milch with no shoes on, lying on the floor. They're bouncing around ideas, and he starts dictating dialogue to everybody.
It's amazing. Yeah. That's one of the most incredible creative collaborative videos I've ever seen.
I know.
It's insane. Yeah, that was insane. So I would think that I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, comic book writers are amazing idea people. But in the world of WWE, I think it's such a weird, odd, different beast. Yeah. I just don't know.
Jose Alaguna, how would The Undertaker say happy birthday, Steve?
You.
Another year closer to River Stygian for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet you think you're so clever trading my IP for those like a dog shirts. I'm just joking. Go out and make that money, Steve, and I'll see you when you rest in peace.
Poke, happy birthday, Steve. I hope you have an awesome day.
Thank you very much.
The Enforcer, Stevie Bradley, heat check.
Hot heat.
How excited or nervous are you for wrestling in late 2019 into 2020? Happy birthday, son. Now turn yourself in.
I am very excited about it. I think it's an awesome time. Look. You can quibble about the minutia of Dave Meltzer's star ratings, which I certainly did on Twitter this morning.
Yeah.
But you cannot deny that the fact that those three shows had how many, at least, 4-star matches between them? Lots. It's a good time to be a professional wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm honestly excited. It's all too much. I'm overwhelmed. Kyle.
He's like, it's too much. I'm in therapy. Kyle.
Top 3 bubbly memes. For me, nothing tops the Lesnar one.
The Lesnar one is top.
That's amazing.
It's top. The one you loaded up the Prince one this morning.
Kiss, yeah.
And it's so great because it goes through so long
of a setup, yeah. Bubbly. And you know exactly where it's going. The second line of the verse.
Sure, yeah.
But still, it made me laugh. Yeah. The Limp Bizkit one's still good.
I think that one is the one that feels best when you actually listen to it. It's like, oh man, this actually makes the most sense audibly.
Yeah. In terms of the rrhythm of
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's really well done. And then of course the first one, the what's that dude? Lou Bega?
Oh yeah,
is that his name? Yeah, that one's good too.
Yeah,
that's the first and best, I think.
Joe Juarez, happy birthday, Steve, you old bastard.
You old bastard.
Jeffrey Nguyen says, don't laugh at Taven. Oh, we'll laugh at Taven.
Yeah, I wonder if he doesn't have a whole lot of leverage. That's why I wonder if he's going to get like a real payday.
He's going to get a Lex Luger deal.
Yeah. Unless they really like him personally, which is very possible.
Maybe it's possible. Dylan, again, the Simpsons podcast is called 4 Finger Discount.
That's cool.
Alex Ramirez, what's Taven doing in the Impact Zone?
Boy, why would anybody go to Impact at this point?
I don't even know if Impact would sign Taven.
Do you just see them like, oh, they would. Because their deals are nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
like we could sign Impact wrestlers here because their deals seemingly are like endless. They don't pay anything.
Yeah.
Why would anybody go there?
I don't know.
Why would anybody
no idea.
You literally just see them pissing away goodwill right now with this killer.
That is
Cross
the Impact
stuff.
way. John Misenberg, happy birthday, Steve.
Thank you very much, John.
Poke, I just realized Dominic Walter is Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, man. Yeah. For sure.
Jose Alaguna, in honor of your birthday wish, what's one conspiracy theory you want to be true?
What's one conspiracy theory I would want to be true? Is there anything that would benefit mankind? Is there any conspiracy theory out there that... Oh, I know what conspiracy theory I would love to be true. That climate change isn't like a real thing, isn't a man-made thing. Because at that point, it's like, okay, well, it's out of our hands. There's literally nothing we could do. It's just the earth doing its thing. I would love that. Unfortunately, science tells me otherwise.
It's all our fault.
We are screwing ourselves royally, people.
It's all our fault.
Oh, my gosh. It's intense. I would love for that to be fake. Because then it's like,
answer.
okay, well, yeah, we didn't do it.
Chino Brady, too sweet. Happy birthday, Steve.
Thank you.
Epico, $5 to laugh at Taven. Ha ha.
Oh,
Ha ha.
idiot.
Ha 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 ha.
Let's see here. Tim Spulak says, Steve, can I get you anything? No, Tim. Max 0. And don't FaceTime me, please. When NXT goes to USA, will you move the NXT UK and 205 reviews to Fridays for those outside the US that have to wait for Thursdays to get NXT on the network? No. You're just going to have to wait to watch our review because no, we're not going to do that. No, we'll probably end up just I don't know. We haven't talked about this. We've talked about it a little bit. But timeliness here is everything for the YouTube.
Yeah. Well, especially for the more high-profile stuff.
Sure, of course. Now that NXT and AEW are on cable TV, they are going to be that high profile. So they will both be released. We will do them both on Thursday.
Yeah.
And either... I don't know what the sequence is going to be. Like, what are we going to release first? Like, generally speaking, we have in the past been like, hey, we're going to give this, our content. When you're a content creator, you have to make these decisions. We're going to give it time to breathe, or we're going to do one at 10 and then the other one like at 2 or something, or are we going to do them both back to back?
Well, there's one issue with doing them at the same time is that only one notification is generally sent out for one of the videos, not both of them.
I know. There's a couple things like I know. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
there's going to be some trial and error with that. I feel like.
I think that we'll figure it out to the best of our ability. We'll do it.
Yeah, and
and
if
then
it works, great. If not, we'll think of something else.
If there's something else if there's a different way to handle it, we'll do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the kind of case where we'll film them both live, back to back, and then make the videos public at the same time. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
They're not making it easy on us, man.
No. Finn Diesel, sending money while I make money. Happy birthday, Steve.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see here. Patrick Sparks. We know of James Angel and the Troll. What would the other members of Funhouse team's wrestling gimmicks
Didn't
be?
they all have wrestling gimmicks at one of their live shows? I thought I saw videos of that on Twitter.
Maybe.
I don't remember what they were, though.
Maybe. If you can give a gimmick to Kovic, what would it be? I really need to watch Arizona, so I keep on meaning to get a first membership.
Yeah, I want to check that out,
I
too.
want to see Arizona Circle. I think Elise is like one of the most talented people. I would be shocked if she didn't end up like directing actual movies and stuff, or being like she should have an agent trying to get her to sign her live at this point. She's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what her wrestling gimmick would be though.
I mean, too early in the morning for me to think about this stuff. It's 10:30.
It's too early to think about this stuff.
I'm thinking about the pound and a half of chicken I got in the fridge. I'm waiting to put in my tummy. That's what my mind's on right now.
That's good, man.
I grilled a bunch of chicken last night. It's delicious. Dylan Haggett, happy birthday, Mr. Steve here.
Thank you very much, Dylan. I appreciate it. Let's see here. David De La Cruz. With the announcement of Jericho versus Cody for the AEW title, do you think AEW focuses too much on tag team wrestlers that there isn't a good lineup of singles wrestlers to challenge for the title besides Cody, Kenny, or Pac?
Well, there's Moxley, too. It's real easy to pivot either Rey Fenix or Pentagon to the title scene because they're both spectacular. Marty Scurll comes in November. He's another name that could be put in the world title scene.
I don't even think you have to worry about him. Look, here's the thing. You've got Cody, Kenny. I mean, one thing that they're going to not want to do necessarily is is there haven't been, and granted, it's super early, but eventually they're going to want to get into storylines that will necessitate rematches.
Yeah.
So you could carry out Jericho versus Cody for a couple months and have some rematches and variations on those matches. So you could do that. Kenny's going to have his storyline where he's his crisis of confidence storyline that he's in the middle of right now. You get Pac in there. You spend that time building up Hangman again. And then you've got guys like Guevara. You've got guys like MJF. All those guys in the death match that are, I think, terrific. Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela. So, but you do, look, here's the thing. You can't do this once a month. You're going to have to do, you're going to have to do some rematches. You're going to have to do some stories that you're going to, you're going to have to do some wonky finishes.
Yep.
And that's okay.
That's all right. Jose Alaguna says, hire Bruce Green for Going in Raw. He seems to be doing okay for himself.
Bruce does not want to be hired. Number one, we couldn't afford Bruce.
No.
Number two, Bruce has explicitly stated he's leaving Funhouse to start his own business, to build his own brand.
Yes.
And I think that's terrific.
It is.
I'm
Best
very
of luck to
excited
Bruce.
for him.
He's great. He's wildly creative.
Yeah.
Super smart dude. Really driven. I imagine he'll succeed wildly.
I agree. Juan Guerrero, can Ring of Honor do anything at all to keep Marty Scurll once his contract expires? Or is him going to AEW already the surest of sure things?
I don't think it's the surest of sure things. I think it's the most likely scenario. But, depending on how much budget they have for new contracts, they just throw a ton of money at them.
I think that the only thing they have is money and the promise that, or the idea of rebuilding, helping to rebuild,
making him the centerpiece of the rebuild.
Yeah, that's all they can do. That's all they have, because it's not like they don't even have like a bunch of awesome dream matches that he would, It's like you got Roosh there, you got Jeff Cobb, you got
But
Bandito.
they're going to be free agents soon too.
But we have no idea if they're going to re-sign.
I know.
No clue.
Fuego Rob, who would be the Brady Bunch of wrestling? So there are 9 family members. There was mom and dad, and they each have 3 kids? Or 4?
They each had 3.
All right.
Yeah, they each had 3.
And then there was Alice, the
maid.
The maid, yes.
Yeah. So Triple H and Stephanie are the mom and dad.
Uh-huh.
Triple H brings with him Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins.
Okay. And then Stephanie brings
3 women.
Sasha, Bailey,
Charlotte.
That's Can't leave Becky out, though.
She's the maid. She's Alice. Because Alice used to keep everybody in check.
I guess so.
I mean, it's a loose analogy. It's the Brady Bunch, man. What do you want?
I know.
What do you want from me? I'm sure that if we knew more about AAA, there's some more actual familias out there. Like, would Umberto and Angel Garza be part of the Garza?
The Garza family, yes.
Who's the head Garza guy?
Hector?
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know.
And there's the Guerrero family.
Should really learn.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Corey Guerrero. Yeah.
Eddie. Chavo Jr.
I
don't know any of this stuff. I bought a book.
Oh, yeah?
I bought a book
About?
on Amazon.
There's a lot of books on Amazon.
That's what they started doing. What's this book I bought? That's not it. Here it is. So, no, one of the things that Meltzer mentioned in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, probably the thing that he is best at, is he's a historian. And he said, while writing up the Harley Race stuff,
St. Louis territory,
he referenced this Wrestling at the Chase, the inside story of Sam Muchnick and the Legends of Professional Wrestling book. They have $14 on Amazon, so I went ahead and bought it.
Good idea.
I want to study up on stuff more, man.
There you go.
I want to be a wrestling historian.
Learn all about St. Louis territory.
Yeah.
Alt-T, Control, Delete. Happy birthday, Steve. Woo!
Thank you. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Ouch. Stuart Lee. Going in Raw, you're my only hope. I'm 0-7 so far in my office pay-per-view pool.
Oh, dear.
For Clash of Champions, I will be making your picks my picks. My fortunes are in your hands. Hopefully, I will be celebrating victory with 2 sweets to all the friendos.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
But then you have to choose between our picks. If we differ on picks, whose pick you're going to go with.
Yeah. We should really, that's something that I wanted, in the spirit of more collaborations, we should
more prediction pools.
Reach out to.
We did that with our friendos over at Busted Wide Open once.
We did.
We should do that more often.
We should reach out to our most noted rival, Brian Zane.
Yeah.
Reach out.
Well, that's more your issue than mine.
We got to have a conglomerated front here, man. We need some solidarity against Brian Zane. Are you with me on this?
You got to get over the beef. That was all the way back to the first H title match. That's water in the bridge, man.
You need to have the competition.
Oh, I'm competitive.
I don't like to see
but when the game's over, you let it go.
No,
that game's over.
No, it's never. The game is never over.
Gosh,
game of life, baby.
Alt Control Delete. New member, welcome. Nice. You can watch Ask Steven Larson later today.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we should probably get on that. Anyways.
Oh, sorry.
One
more. Steve, enjoy your day. Here's to getting wasted.
Number 1.
That's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Thanks everybody for your birthday wishes. Thanks so much, Larson, for this book here.
Enjoy.
Very excited about that. Ask Steven Larson's coming up either later today or tomorrow, whenever I decide to get up. But we are going to do one.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching. Until next time. Talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Where's the button to do
Say that every time. Same place.
Right here.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.